Alrighty, y'all. We are live as the 9-4-0 Mammoth visit the 7-5-1 Maple Leafs in Toronto. Taking a quick look at their previous games, Utah beat Buffalo last night 2-1. Lost to Tampa on Sunday 4-2. Had a little break, but lost to Edmonton 3-6, 6-3. Lost to Winnipeg 3-2. Sorry. Won against Winnipeg 3-2. Won against Minnesota. Won against St. Louis. 6 goals, 7 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals as they beat Colorado, beat Boston. They went on quite a little streak, winning 4 home games in a row, then winning 3 road games before losing 1 of each, and then, as I said, winning in Buffalo yesterday. Take a quick look over at Toronto. By the way, what up, Jesus? It's probably a good idea to hang on to a couple of bucks from time to time, brother. But, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Toronto schedule. For Toronto, we have a win against Pitt at home on Monday, a win against Philly on the road last Saturday, loss, win, overtime, loss, win. Scored 7 goals in one of those, but they're averaging about 3. Oh, I went too far. See, a loss to Columbus, win against Calgary, win against Buffalo, loss against Buffalo, loss against New Jersey, overtime loss to Seattle. So I went back a little too far in the preseason. So they are not, Toronto hasn't been scoring much. We have watched a couple of games. I was not as prepared as I thought I was. Anyway, Toronto has been up and down, not scoring a lot of goals, giving up plenty. So we'll see who's in net for the Leafs. That'll make a big difference in this game. But the Mammoth have been absolutely on fire. Still don't recognize a lot of those names. Glad they're not in our division. Dude, Donnell Nurse starting off a commercial. They call that a poison pill. But I'm curious to see this one. We watched Utah earlier in the season. I can't remember what game we watched. Like I said, we watched Toronto a little bit. Utah has been rather impressive. Of course, Nate Schmidt on there, one of my favorite defensemen in the league. And he's just been busting ass, dude. He is smashing everybody he can get close to. And you just love to see it. Matt, last time we watched, didn't get a lot of production out of Matthews. There may have been a goal. Don't remember hearing his name much. Nyes was very active. Tanev, Lorenz, Arlo. Like, they definitely had some guys that were a lot more active than the front runners that you would expect. Not gonna lie, might have jumped into this one just a hair early. See, 4:06. We should be getting to the national anthem and O Canada any moment now. Get to the start of the game. Zootopia 2. Not gonna lie, man. Watching, like, growing up in the 90s, we had the best animated movies. And watching things lately with trying keeping up with my niece and stuff, there's a couple old Pixar things that are all right, but a lot of it is just so trash. Like, when my niece was out here, we watched the Aristocats and the Page Master. And I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the Page Master in a while, give it a watch, man. What a good movie. Might actually thinking about going to see what was it, Back to the Future. they're doing a re-release. Go see that in theaters. I think that would be that would be sick. That's why I keep an eye out in a lot of theaters across the nation. They do the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I haven't seen it in Vegas anywhere near me yet. I would love to do that one. Sorry, just rambling at this point. We're waiting for puck drop. Everybody's skating around. It looks like they've already done the anthems. But let's see. Okay, so 6 games in a row giving up the first goal. We know, that means a lot more elsewhere than it does in the NHL. All right, let's get to puck drop. Oh, no, they're getting on the line, so they still got to do the anthems. We totally butchered this timing. So what else is going on? Let's take a look. At 4:30, we have the Capitals and the Blues in Washington. 6:30, we got the Blue Jackets and the Flames in Calgary. 7 o'clock, Blackhawks and the Canucks, as well as the Sharks and the Kraken. I think we did good choosing this game. Looking at everything out to 3-9-2 for Calgary, 4-7-2 for the Blues. I mean, even the Caps are only 6-5-1. Damn, we got the full introduction to go. Okay, well, we'll pop back in a minute because we got time. so they're doing a big long thing for Tavares for hitting 500 goals. So after this, I expect we still have Oh Canada and the anthem to go. So it'll probably be a few minutes. We misjudged this one by quite a bit. All right, y'all. So I did not realize John Tavares had made 500 goals and was getting honored for it. So it's on me. But we are finally at puck drop. Vanacek in goal for Utah. See some. I'm going to download that just because. Let's get back here and see if we can get Dollars in net for Toronto. They have dropped it. Let's see how far we'll be behind today. I'm guessing about 30 seconds. That's roughly about how far we're behind. Let's see, is it going to update real quick? Nope, we're about 45 seconds behind. Puck sent in to the Utah territory. Up to the boards. McKay, let's go past them. Ekman Larson back. Utah ends up with it. Keller trying to go across. It ends up on nets. DeLarge kicks it to the high boards. Great transition for Utah off the mistake by Toronto. A big hit on the high boards. Dude went a little out of his way to make that connection and dropped one of the Mammoth. Utah working their way back out across neutral into the Leaf zone. Cooley Gets it up the boards all the way across, and a shot from the high point is an easy save for Stellars. And now we do our usual hunting for something that's going to be a little closer to what we're actually, to what real time is. Let's see. Waiting. 2. Damn. It's looking like we're just going to be forever behind no matter what we do. I keep trying to fix that, but it's so bad. Puck into the Mammoth zone. Matthews in the low corner trying to sling it around behind the back of the net. Nice. Loses it out. Out front. Cooley from Utah gets it. Gets a great pass towards the front of the net, just not able to connect. Shot goes off the stick. Puck behind Stellars. Down the low boards. Goes out to the high point. Shot hits Stellars pads. And ooh, who's 80? Man, I am already. My brain is not functioning right now. I know these. Nylander is 88. Good grief, dude. The struggle is real. Got thrown off. Got thrown off by the start of the game. I was ready to go. Mermis just threw it out into the stands. So face off coming in the Utah zone. It's Keller. Cooley's not in shape. Gonna do the usual, try and learn these names as we go. Oh man. Okay. Ooh, headed back the other way. Is that Yamamoto getting it deep into the Toronto zone, fighting on the boards. Mermis sends it back around Stellars. Actually, Mermis gets it up and out of the zone, but Tanev able to reset out of his own zone. Up to the high boards, it's going to go up and out of play. Utah's got 8 wins in the last 10 games. They had that like 6-game win streak that was just flat out impressive. Oh, shit. I forgot to look at something. Obviously, that's fine, but yeah. Okay. Come on. There we go. Oh, quick backhand. Domi towards the net. Good stop by Vanacek. And a big reverse hit by McBain for Utah, keeping the puck safe. Fed out front. Utah breaks into the zone. That Lawrence goes back the other way. I try not to look down, but I don't know these. I don't know Utah names for shit. So Schmaltz headed back for Utah. Great little pass. Goes to center it off the low boards and just puts it right on a blue stick. Heading back the other way. Shot. And missed the net. Nylander just couldn't follow through. Nylander with another chance. Nope, he's got to make a couple moves around some Utah sticks. Matthews from the low dot puts it off the right pad of Vanacek. Riley throws it down low. Off the wall, comes right out front. Schmaltz plays it to safety, and Utah gets a chance to reset as everybody goes for a chain. Nate Schmidt from behind his own net. Leaves it off to the low boards, passed up ahead, and good entry by Utah. Cut off by Ekman Larson. McCabe tries to make a play up the boards. Not very clean, and Utah stays in. Down low. Big shot goes off of Stellar's, off a body, and then wide of the net. Dangerous rebound on that one. Joshua heading out and right into the Utah zone. Great pass, mishandled in the low slot by Waugh. Come on, Nick. Do something cool. Puck out to the point. Shot. Fired off the blocker of Vanacek. Utah clears, taking the high road. Everybody going for a change. Myers back in his own zone. Back to Myers. Dumped in. Nope, stopped at the red line. Utah's going to go back the other way. And Toronto stops him at the blue line. Quick buffer. Who's that? Carlo from neutral tries to feed it back in. Picked off by Shimashev? Simashev. McMahon into the zone, trying to get around the backside of Vanacek. He gets it up to Tanev, or it's not Tanev. Big shot for Utah on Stolarz, and is that 82? Stenlin. All right. I'm trying real hard. Hopefully by second or third period, I'm going to put the list away. But again, I'm trying to work like Toronto names and numbers are easy to match because they got some stars on their team, man. Even as bad as they play sometimes. Utah, I just don't. And besides Nate Schmidt and Tanev, I just don't know anybody. And Yamamoto, okay. Omimata. I don't know these guys. Like I said, I should. They're playing well enough to where I should be watching them. Face off to the left of Stolarz. Matthews wins it to Ekman Larson. And McCabe sends it up and out of the zone. Reset for Utah in front of Vanacek. Puck all the way up to neutral. Matthews putting up a fight at the red line. Nyes gets it backwards to Ekman Larson. Puck comes back up to Nyes, and he'll back into deep into the Utah zone. Nyes has his own play, sends it to Nylander, who kicks it around the net. Out front, McCabe loses it right to a white jersey. And Schmidt's able to get it out all the way back. Ekman Larson sets it to McCabe, and Ekman Larson will head out from his own zone. Ooh, big hit. That was a hip check from hell. Who just got hit? It must have been Simashev. No, I didn't hit the button. Where is it? I need to know who just took that hit. I don't see a number that matches. But bro just got a rail to his hip. Utah's doing a really good job of forcing Toronto to shoot before they really want to. There's only been one really good opportunity for Toronto. But heading back the other way, like I was just about to say, most of what Utah's putting on net is an easy kick save for Stolarz. Nick Waugh into the zone, tosses it around the back. Joshua trying to work it out, trying to get it up front. It comes out front, a shot by Riley, misses the net wide. Nick Waugh trying to fight to get the puck down low again, up in the corner. Joshua gets it to the point, and it's a turnover on the quick pass. Great checking from Michelli on the blue line to steal the puck back. And that's an offsides. Riley wasn't even close. I don't know what old boy was doing. But let's see. Tavares. I keep wanting to call Tavares Tanev. Especially since Tanev's playing for Utah. But let's see. Who are we actually noticing a little bit for Utah? Schmaltz has gotten a lot of play. Tanev, which you figure. Carson, I don't. Number 53, been seeing him a lot. Haven't seen much of Yamamoto. Turka's been busy. Stenlin's been busy. And Cooley's been active as hell. Yo, what up, Jesus? Nate Schmidt's always going to be busy. And then haven't seen Omimata around. So, going to keep an eye out for a couple of these guys that I would expect to be a little bit more active. But so far, it's a very even game. Both sides have had a decent opportunity, but nothing that's overly challenging. A lot of weak shots, a lot of easy pad saves for both goalies. Both goalies look comfortable. Defensively, sticks look good on each side. Everything's being forced out to the outside and behind the net. Both sides need to get guys in front of the net. Neither side is really doing an awesome job of maintaining possession and getting more than one shot on goal per zone trip. A lot of one and dones for Utah. They get in, they might have a quick second of setup, they put a shot on, and then their puck's going back the other way. Toronto's being a little more aggressive, getting pucks towards the net. They're just not always making them there. And then when they do, they're not the most challenging stops. That Utah is just playing their ass off right now. It's wild seeing Utah have 30.9 shot per game average over the last, I think it was 8 games. And I think if you look at Vegas 8 game, we're probably averaging 19. The fact that we got 30 shots yesterday was incredible, not let alone a shutout win on 1 goal. Puck through neutral. Stopped. That Marino. Good play on the blue line. Nate Schmidt chasing it back as the puck goes to Vanacek. Mishandles a little bit and has to go off his skate. But he recovers. However, Utah keeps it in. Shot by Tavares. Misses the net. Back up high. Another shot on Vanacek. Saved with the right pad. Tavares. From the low point. Circles to the wall. Dumps it back. Nylander tries to go out to the middle. He just locked himself up in a pretzel. Schmitty back behind his own net. Goes up high, and Utah gets it out. They have a little bit of room. Stedlin coming in hot. Has to get rid of it. Tanev doing nothing to assist his teammate. And not quite back on side for Yamamoto. That was just a great bam bam. Stole the puck off the wall, turned, got it to his teammate, who turned and got it on net. The cutoff man actually did a good job swatting that out of midair. Puck jumped in from Utah. Toronto gets it, and Joshua can't work its way out. Shot goes wide of the net, back up towards the blue line. Dumped deeper by Utah. Joshua trying to play it into the corner. It eventually makes its way to I forget it. What the fuck's that guy's name? I know I'm doing this a lot. Mimers or something like that. Mermis. That was going to bug me if I didn't figure it out. Toronto gets a chance, but a good stick stops the pass on its way to Michelli. Mammoth coming in. He's got a chance and a shot with a pretty easy save. Towards the back wall. Everything from Utah staying on the ice as it makes its way to Stellars. Gotta elevate the puck. Dumped in. Ekman Larson takes it back. Goes way up high into the Utah zone and is cleared immediately. Back the other way. Nope. Okay, hang on. We're gonna have some neutral zone. Okay, they went offsides. Nylander went offsides. I'm like, man, there's no point in calling this because we're just bouncing back and forth across across the neutral zone. Little bit. I mean, if you're into defensive games, I guess this is not the worst that you could be watching, but it is not exactly the most thrilling game. Get up and stretch my back real quick. Just got to remember to do that every couple commercial breaks. Otherwise, sitting here kills me. Still waiting on other games to start, so. Yep, so nothing to flip over to, but hopefully for intermission, we'll be able to jump on that game. Same old stuff in the news as it's been the last couple of days. Yep, damn, those wings actually look fucking bomb. All right, let's get back to the game, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was all ready to go, and then they did the 500 goal celebration for John Tavares, and it was like, okay, I should be able to be like, okay, no, that's cool, which it is, but it just threw me all off. The game started 15 minutes later than usual. All right, Domi takes it into the Utah zone, dumps it high and deep. Nate Schmidt versus Lorenz. And Toronto comes away with the dump deep. Domi chasing. Lawton sends it back to Domi behind the net. He's got space. Gets it up to the low point. Ekman Larson throws it down low. It goes off the backboards, and Utah comes away with it. Nate Schmidt takes his time, and he'll skate out of his own zone to the red line and in. Utah going for a change. Took a bounce off the backboards and hit the net, but Toronto's eventually able to get some space. 9 minutes to go in the first period. Shots are 5-3 Utah. Again, chances really slim on each side. It's those 8 shots. I think 7 of them have been easy kick to the corner with a pad. With the talent, I mean, with the way Utah's been playing and the talent on Toronto, you would expect a little more. Goalies have been playing fine. Looks like we got a high stick, so I don't know if it's looking like a reset, not a penalty, but we'll see. The goaltending's been good enough, but they haven't seen anything. So we'll see if things start getting amped up as we get closer to the end of the period. And I'll be curious to see which side makes the correct adjustment when we get back for the second half. Shot on net misses. Another shot from the point goes high. Dude needs to work on his targeting a little bit. Good back check. Schmaltz steals it away. Gets the puck down low. Zach Keller busting his ass. Puck comes out, and it was that Sergachev. Ooh, bad. Actually, really good defense. Sergachev went all the way down on Matthews. Matthews tries to kick it to Nyes, but a good stick sends the puck to the backboards. battle for it on the high wall. Matthew sneaks in and takes it away, skating up, tries to put a shot on net that goes wide. All the way down into the high corner. Nice. Under pressure from 4 white jerseys, and Utah's going to get the puck out. Myers whiffs as he tries to send a quick pass up the low boards. And the struggle bus is real. Utah back into the zone, but a good stick from John Tavares. Can't remember if it's Tavares or Tavares, but I'm going with Tavares. Potential high stick. Oh, it's not even potential. It's a called high stick on that one. Tavares made a great play, but he's just too slow. Got caught up with 3 white jerseys around him. Oh, we got some yelling from the bench. I think they're arguing it wasn't Tavares' stick. Let's take a look. He crashes in. Big pressure. Oh, yeah, no, his own. I think I'm with him. I'm pretty sure old boy hit himself with the stick. Like Tavares lifted dude's stick, but it was his own stick. Who was it? Hang on. Yamamoto. Like straight, like dude lifted the stick, but it's not his fault that he lifts old boy's stick and his own stick smacks him in the face. And I think they have an argument with that one. Sergachev trying to get the puck down low on the man advantage for Utah. It goes off a stick up and out of play. Minute 45 to go. On the power play, 6:49 to go in the period. Yeah, it was clearly his own stick. Yeah, he lifted Yamamoto's stick, and Yamamoto's stick smacked Yamamoto in the face. I don't know if you know this, but that should not be a high stick. Bad call for the. Wait. Hang on. I'm gonna try and pretend like I'm shocked. Oh, the refs made a dumbass bad call. That's like how you even thought that Tavares' stick is what actually hit him. Like hell, even I said a potential high stick because it didn't look right. Sure enough, you get down on the ice and it's blatant. Utah in the zone. They're having to make moves around Sergachev, his own teammate. Ooh, a little slip and fall from Ekman Larson. Allows a clean shot, but a good save to Lars. And now Lawton skating it out. Gets the puck all the way back behind Vanacek. And now Sergachev will settle the puck. There's that Yamamoto coming in. Came in quick, too, but 4 blue shirts meet him at the top of the circles. Puck's ditched down behind Vanacek. 20 seconds on the power play. 5:20 to go in the period. Breaking in fast, but the shot gets blocked. And now you got Lorentz headed back the other way. He's got a little bit of help, but not a lot from Joshua as Joshua goes into Vanacek. And we are back to even strength. Not a lot going there for Utah. Good on Toronto. Oh, a bouncing puck from Nylander to Tavares, but Tavares couldn't quite get enough to direct it into being a decent shot, really. All the way back down behind Lorentz. Nylander right up the gut, and Riley breaking into the zone. Puts it on Vanacek, who knocks it to the high boards, and Utah's going back the other way. Just quick transitions for Utah. They're not controlling a whole lot in the offensive zone, but they get across the blue line very efficiently. Stellaris holds it, eventually goes up the boards to Ekman Larson, and it's out. Utah right back in off the high boards. McCabe lets it go around, and Joshua bumps it back to McCabe. Ekman Larson feeds it all the way up the wall to Joshua, storming in. Tries to circle around, but that was a great defensive play by Marino. Mata back behind the net, taking on Joshua. He gets some help, and Ekman Larson's able to keep it in. Tosses it to the high corner behind the net. Joshua just doing work. Gets it to Michelli, gets it to McCabe. Michelli circling around, gets to the center of the slot. Pass to the high dot, and the shot by Riley misses wide. Nick Wall gets it to Michelli right out front to Riley, and they can't connect. Utah will get some fresh bodies on the ice, but Matthews is putting pressure on the tired defenseman. Here they come back the other way. A good stick by Nylander clears the puck, and Matthews dumps it into the Utah zone. Schmitty tries to pay it back, ends up on Nylander's stick, but Sergachev makes a great play to block the pass. Nice, trying to feed it out front to Matthews. It gets on his stick, but misses the net. Nylander from the high board sends it all the way around, down low, into the corner. Carlo gets it behind the net, but Schmitty's able to play it to Sergachev, and Utah is able to clear into the Toronto zone. Again, great transition, nobody to help, and Toronto just takes the stick, or the puck, right off their stick. 2:20 to go in the first. Matthews will send it backwards. Mermis tosses it up ahead, and Utah will take it the other way. Right back into the Leafs zone. Tanev dumps it down to the high corner. Ooh, trying to make a move. He loses his footing. That's going to be a rough turnover as we're going 3-on-1 the other way. Oh, good speed. McMahon making a good decision, but cannot beat Vanacek. I'm not sure who just got tripped, but I'd like to see that again, because Toronto looked like they got tripped, but it might have been his own teammate. But that's a penalty still. It doesn't matter if it's your own stick that hits you in the face. Why would it matter it's your teammate that trips you? Oh, Lorentz breaking into the zone. Under 90 seconds to go in the first. Big shot by Domi. Misses the net wide. Hits the back glass, and Utah's clear. Arlo gets his attempt to pass it across the ice. It comes out front. Utah scores. What a wild shot. I couldn't even keep up with this series of events, dude. Good Lord. So McMahon puts it on Vanacek, makes a great save. Fairly easy save, but a great save. And then there it is. Carlo just gets his pass interrupted. Puck on the backboards, comes out front, and a great shot. Great pass, great shot. That was Krause and Carcone. And that's his third of the season. That was a beautiful pass, though, by Krause. And with 60 seconds to go, another shot comes in on Stellaris, but he fights that one off to the back glass. Fed to the high dot, trying to get it through the slot, and a good stick interrupts that attempt. Nice, dumps it in. 43 seconds on the clock as Schmaltz looked like he got tripped. No call. Toronto sends it back across neutral. Looks like Utah's going to kind of settle the puck down as we're hitting just under 30 seconds. Sergachev looking for someplace to go with it from behind his own net. High boards. Right up the gut across the red line into the zone. Good stick by Nick Wall. Joshua trying to make a move. Tries to throw it towards the net. Hits the skate of the man standing in front. Good defense. And that'll do it for the first period. So late score, just what was that? A minute, like 3 seconds left. A minute, 11 seconds left. Utah finally put something on the board. So I'm not going to lie. Little bit of a boring game. That was by far the best opportunity that came for either team, and it's not even close. Everything has been on the ground or on the ice. Easy kick saves. Everything's hitting the pads. Just throw it to the corner, throw it to the wall, and on to the next. There's been 13 shots this period. Very, very boring start to this one. I'm not going to lie. And I chose this one because I think it's still going to be the best out of all the games tonight. But let's take a look. We got the Blues and the Capitals are playing right now. Which one is this? Stream one. Okay. Hockey. All right. So just over 7 minutes gone in Washington. Dude just got plastered to the boards. That was brutal. Checking in on our boy LT. Chikrin carries it into the St. Louis zone. Pressure on the high corner. But back to the point. Shot. Ooh. Hey, he was at that. That could have easily been a goaltender interference, but goalie was out of the crease. However, if I was on the ice, I'd be starting shit with old boy. He just blasted the goalie. Big shot takes out one of the Blues. He's trying to maintain his feet, but he's got to lean on his skates. Said it before, say it again. Hockey players are a level of toughness a lot of people just don't understand. Take a 90-mile-an-hour slap shot to the ankle. Like one of the best examples, I want to say it was a Boston player. I want to say it was Krieg or something like that. He got hit in the leg. It was during the playoffs. He got hit in the leg. It broke one of the bones in his lower leg. And he stayed on the ice for another minute and 45 seconds because I think it was during a power play, so he couldn't get off the ice. And he got back on his feet and played defense, and Boston didn't allow a goal. Krug, maybe? It was one of the Boston players. One of the more impressive things that, like I said, when it comes to toughness, it's just unreal. Parayko for St. Louis has been on the ice for over 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Washington still controlling in the St. Louis zone. Since we started this, they've been running shit. A big tip that comes right out front. Amazing. Washington only has 3 shots in the amount of time that they've just been hanging out. Ooh, Washington got a fresh body. We got a penalty. I'm guessing we're going to get a hook on St. Louis, but we've got an extra attacker, Ovechkin, with the tip right through the goalie's legs, but able to miss the net. Unreal. Now, that was an exciting couple minutes of hockey. Stromey just great shot from Ovechkin. Great tip from Stromey and just wide. Now, I may be wrong. This may be the one that we should have watched. I'm not going to lie. All right, their commercial break. Let me take this moment to hit the head and grab some water, and we'll be back in a few. coming back to enjoy a little bit. Charcuterie board slifer. Nice, dude. Jalapeno chips and beer. That attaboy. Let's go, brothers. Dude, I would come back right as the commercial hits. But yeah, I gotta go. I might actually, you know what? Let me close my. Just realized I still had my window wide open from when it was bright out. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go get some salami from Albertsons. Probably go after the game. Run over there real quick, get back, let the battery charge up, and then get my ass to the gym. Of course, it's like, dude, I'm telling you, that garlic and herb porcelain cheese. I've tried that and there's like an onion and shallot or something like that. That stuff is so good. But definitely the garlic. They got a bunch of different flavors. I got to start messing around with and giving them a shot. But man, so delicious. That's why I got enough, but I don't have enough salami, so I got to go pick some up. That's exactly what I need to do. Actually, I'm finally not sick. I'm finally not hurt, so I'm finally able to get back into the gym. But once the game's over, I'm gonna go get some cheese and crackers and salami. I'm gonna get fat as shit, and then I'm gonna go back to the gym. Then we can restart. Dude, looking forward to it though, man. I always ride the bike to the gym. And now that it's like 60 degrees at night, oh, it's going to be such a good ride. Over the summer, it was, I'd leave the house at 11 and it would be 98 degrees. Just insane. 11 at night. All right, how much time we got on our? We still got a minute 20 to go on intermission for our game. We're zoomed in on or we're checking in on Washington and St. Louis. In St. Louis, the guy the stick was in no way hooking him. The guy elbow pinched and dropped to his knees, and they gave him the penalty. That is as bad as Yamamoto's stick hitting Yamamoto in the face and them giving a penalty to Toronto. To Tavares. That's insane. So already we have seen 2 penalties and they have both been bullshit calls. Go figure. Minute and a quarter on the extra man. Good entry. Hard angle shot. You ain't going to get LT with that. Well, you might get LT with that, but you got to go up at his head. He's gotten better at locking down the post, but he still lets a little gap right at the top of his shoulder. All right, St. Louis resetting. We'll watch this entry and then we'll get back over to our game. Puck all the way down the low corner. Cleared by Washington. All right. So we are going to check some of these sources to see if we can see how close we can get to being on time. Again, we're typically about anywhere from like 35 to 45 seconds behind just because the stream's behind. But hopefully we get a little bit more caught up after the intermission. All right, so what are we thinking for the second period? Utah's up 1-0. Shots are 8-5 Utah. Again, everything has been on the ice. Everything making it to the goalies are these little kick saves that just really don't take much. The first time that either side's been challenged was Kraus getting the puck out, making a great pass from behind the net, getting the puck out front, and having Carcone come in and bury it. Let me see if we can get. So we're going to cycle through some of these real quick, see which one's going to be the best feed. I think I'm going to go with this one. All right. Getting ready for puck drop. And we are, let's see how far back we are. Like Matthews won that face off. Okay, we're not actually too bad, I do believe. Utah going around Stellaris, trying to work up the low boards all the way across, and a shot by Sergachev, swallowed up by Stellaris. Yeah, I think we're only about 10 or 15 seconds behind with this feed, so that would be awesome. Face off to the left of Stellaris. Oh, Utah won it, but Toronto came away with it, but then Toronto threw it right at Keller. A lot of space on the blue line to turn it over like that. Oh, did he keep it in? It looks like he did. Toss low, Schmaltz behind the net, working up the high boards. Tosses it back down behind the net, and Toronto cuts it off. Nice. Able to steal it on the high boards, get it all the way up to Nylander, who loses it immediately. Now Petarka in, shot from the top of the low circle, goes wide. Back out to neutral. 3-on-2 for Toronto. All the way wide. That what? Neither Nylander or Nyes crashed the net as Joshua was forced to, or who was that? Tavares was forced to take it out wide. All of his help abandoned the front of the net. That made no sense. Easy shot from the point, kicked away by the pads of Vanacek. Toronto able to take control. Carlo with the wide open shot and a blocker save by Vanacek. Carlo from midpoint up to the high boards. Toss down low. And good sticks by Utah, break up the close opportunity. That probably should have been a trip, but no call. Great pick, but offsides by a mile. What a great defensive play for Toronto, but again, not even close to clearing the zone before he crossed. Who am I looking for here? Robertson. That's who I keep forgetting. Okay. I'm sure Carcone is, if that's the way it's pronounced, dope. That sounds like a Batman mob family. All the way up to Stellaris, who covers it up. And we are going to get a face-off in the Maple Leaf zone. Maple Leafs. Yeah, Maple Leafs. Wow. Why did that sound bad? And then knowing that it was correct. Anyway. Face-off to the right of Stellaris. Nick Waugh in for the Leafs. Face-off won by Utah. Carcone slips around the back of the net, goes for the wraparound. Almost called it a reach around. Puck goes all the way clear through the low boards. Utah's able to keep it in momentarily. Stellaris is going to play it up to Myers, who backhands it all the way down. And we have a Toronto icing. Two and a quarter gone in the second period. Shots are 10-7 Utah. So far, well, we got Toronto leading. Well, no, they actually both have 2 shots for the period. So coming out a little bit hotter of a start, not like 13 shots in the first period is not the most exciting game to watch. You know, it only took 19 minutes for someone to score. So I really want to see Vanacek tested. Nothing has been difficult for him yet. Puck won by Toronto, flipped up and out to neutral. Joshua gets it into the zone, pressing hard. It's clear. Down low, Joshua trying to feed it to the center. Great job defensively by our boy, Nate Schmidt. They're just a frozen puck. Nobody knowing what to do. And then Schmidt puts it off his own goal. Good play by Vanacek. Keller settles it neutral, but it's going to be Nick Waugh takes it for Toronto back into the Utah zone. Swung around to the high boards, and Utah's coming right back out. Schmitty trying to whack it in. He swings and he misses. Ekman Larson up to Lawton, who dumps it in. Back behind Vanacek. Lawton goes for a big hit and just missed. They're battling for it on the edge of the trap as Domi comes away with it to Carlo. Feeds it up to Riley. Back to Domi. Back to Riley across the blue line. Down to the high circle. Low boards. Pass towards the middle from Riley was deflected, and it just disappeared. Utah not able to get it clear. Another good play by Riley at the point, but Schmitty takes that pass and gains control. Utah gets out. And again, Riley is just Mr. On demand, except for when he just hands the puck right over. At four times in a row, Utah has cleared their zone. 4 times in a row, the puck ends up on Riley's stick just in neutral. That was just here. It just went off McCabe's stick out of play. Faceoff's going to be in the Mammoth zone, but literally every single one of them, they could not throw it a little left, a little right. Didn't matter where. It went right onto Riley's stick, and he just went right back into the zone. Then he would turn it over. It would come back out. And then Riley would go right back in. Damn, 18% of all players in the NHL are from Ontario, and 43% of Canadian players are from Ontario. It sounds like Ontario is a great place to set up the official refereeing school, because obviously there's a lot of hockey around there, so people get plenty of practice, and then we can send TJ Luxmore all the way down to the point where he shouldn't be allowed to call penalties on like NHL 2K10. I don't even know if that's an actual game, but literally, if there's a hockey game on Xbox, I don't want TJ Luxmore in it. Oh, are we really getting a holding penalty against Utah? I didn't think he actually locked them up. Delayed penalty, and Nylander comes out of nowhere to score. I thought that Vanacek covered it up, but that whole time it was loose. And on the delayed penalty, Toronto ties it up at 1. Let's watch it. So McCabe has to reset all the way back. Comes out off the low boards. Tavares is the one that beats him there. It does look like it was a hook. I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, he never controlled it, but I've seen a touch like that called dead, where it hit Simashev's stick. And like I said, it wasn't a moment of control, but I've seen that called dead. It should have been. But we have ourselves a much more interesting game again. William Nylander with the goal assisted by Nyes and Tavares. Now, that's a 3-piece that you expect to hear often from Toronto. Those 3 getting together to get a goal. Shot by Myers, hits a skate in front of him. Just hits Krause right in his face. Puck goes way up high and out of play. Dude, the white sticks have gotten popular, and they bug me. And the only reason they bug me is because it's hard to see against the ice. So if the dude, high sticks and holds and stuff are usually more difficult to see. No problem seeing that one as Tavares went in, because he definitely got held up. Face off to the left of Vanacek. Gets cleared all the way back to the Toronto zone. Riley takes the high boards up. Onside. Not by much, but good job. Nice to Matthews. Shot from the point. Stopped by Vanacek. A lot of long distance shots. Again, weak shots staying on the ice and shots from the point. That's what Toronto's got right now. Nothing uptight, nothing in the slot, nothing in on plate. They had one wraparound opportunity. It wasn't even close. Carlo back behind Stellars. Back to Carlo. Picked off through neutral, and Simashev gets right into the Toronto zone. Extra man was on the ice because of him, so I'd expect him to have a little chip on his shoulder. Yes, sir, Jesus. We got ourselves a tie game again. Puck comes all it's great passing. Yamamoto breaking in all the way across from the high dot. Shot and saved by Stellars. It was that Cooley coming in hot from the high dot. Oh, don't embarrass yourselves too badly. Man, they are they're oof. I think they are 7-5-1. So they're already not off to a hot start. And coming in, they like the times we've watched, I've expected a little more from Matthews, and I was even talking about the guys who scored. Nyes, Tavares, who actually buried it, Nylander, but like Robertson has been non-existent. Joshua's busting his ass, but McMahon is very, very intermittent for this game. Lawton's busting ass, but Austin Matthews is intermittent. Lawrence and Domi mean nothing on the ice right now. Carlo Mermis and Riley are the most aggressive defensemen. The other three aren't doing much. Martin, yeah. Well, all the Canadian teams are just a letdown every day. I'm more and more of a Knights fan. Seems like Toronto really missing Mitch Marner. Hey, man, I would. It's been wild to see. Like, the biggest problem that we have, and one thing that's hurting Mitch Marner right now is Stoney's out. So once Stoney comes back in and we get our power play back, because Shea Theodore has no business being on first team power play. And the way that we had it set was it was the exact way that we had it last year, except you switch out Marner for Theodore. So now we have Marner, Eichel, Stoney, Hurdle, and they're all in their spots. Marner's on the blue line, Eichel's on the high wall, or the wall to the right of the goalie. Stoney's on the baseline to the right of the goalie. Hurdle's right in the middle of the slot, and Dorofeyev is on the low dot, or the right side dot. It's the exact same it's been for years, except now we have 5 forwards instead of 4 forwards and a Shea Theodore, which I don't know what to call him. Granted, the last few games, his defense has been fantastic, but as soon as he touches the puck with the intent to go the other way, he collapses into, I don't even know what to call it. Like, he makes great defensive plays, gets the puck, skates 2 feet, and then goes, here, you take it. I don't want it. And gives it up. Oh, big turnover, but the shot goes high over the net. Utah trying to get set up. Lawton cuts off the pass and a bouncing puck. Ends up beating, damn it, I had the name up and I already forgot it. I guess that was Marino on the edge. Trying to really miss him. Oh, yeah. I already read that. All right, so shots are 11-10 Utah. 7 1/4 gone in the second period. And what are we seeing out of Utah? Schmaltz and Keller are very aggressive. They actually look really good together. I'm not surprised they're on the line. Tanev has been a speed demon. McBain, Hayden have not non-existent. Carcone has been, he's got the goal. Yamamoto and Krause and Paterka non-existent. Stenlund Willie shows his head from time to time. Sergachev's been great and Schmidt's been great. So on both sides, you're getting about half the team performing their duties. And you got the other half that needs to get a wild hair up their ass and start doing something because they're not making, they might as well just fucking go home. All right, puck through neutral. Utah trying to take it in Toronto zone, met at the blue line. Stopped. And Toronto just across their zone, able to send it back the other way. Off the low boards. Mata loses it. Can't get it to Schmaltz. They had it set. They had that entry too. Toronto got aggressive. Nylander to Nyes. Great back check by Keller. Breaks that up. Toronto right back in from neutral. Nyes has it between the legs. Trying to feed it across. Great sticks by Utah again. Defensively, I see why the Mammoth are winning games. They have no, if you want to get into the slot, you're going to have to fight for it. And Utah hasn't lost that fight yet. Puck all the way back. Ekman Larson sent it to McCabe. McCabe right back in. Behind Vanacek, Michelli races in, gets their first big shot for Matthews, and he scores. Just as I'm giving Austin Matthews shit for not showing up so far this game, he buries one from the high dot. Great setup and finish there. Now, it's great entry, comes all the way down to the corner. Michelli is the reason for all of that. Because Matthews just kind of floats on the dot, floats around the front of the net. Michelli raced. McCabe dumps it, takes a hit as he dumps in the puck, but Michelli hauled ass as Utah loafed to the puck, able to get it set out to the dot where Matthews was just waiting with nobody to beat. So let's see, that is Austin Matthews with the goal, assisted by Michelli and McCabe. We're starting to see some proper Toronto hockey. Let's see if they keep it up. That was a great play. Tanev takes the misstep by Joshua deep into the Toronto zone from the low boards. Michelli takes a shot, can't get it free. Set up from the top of the high circle. The shot goes wide. Puck back up to the high slot. High. Struggle is real. That would be the point. Through neutral, Gunther for Utah gets it deep. McCabe ends up with the first, Lawton, Lawrence, and out to Dummy. But dumped right back in and right back out. Oh, that's offside. Lawrence was expecting Domi to turn and dive into the zone, and he decided to skate all the way down the blue line. A little bit of that happening tonight. A little bit of a lack of urgency from some and complete miscommunication from others. But no biggie. Toronto sitting at 2-1 over the Utah Mammoth in Toronto. Shots are 11 apiece. Take a look real quick. 2/3 of the faceoffs going towards Toronto. Only one power play in the game, and it was a bullshit power play. They called Tavares for high stick and Yamamoto, but Tavares lifted Yamamoto's stick, and Yamamoto's stick hit him hit Yamamoto. So bad penalty, 0 for 1. 9 hits to 8 in favor of Utah. 6 block shots to 4 in favor of Toronto. Giveaways are 19-14 Utah. There have been 33 giveaways this game. That is insane. And only 8 takeaways, 4 for each side. Shots are pretty much, well, actually, Toronto stepped up the shots. They, about halfway through this period, they already had 6, where in the first, they only had 5. However, Utah being limited to 3 when in the first they had 8. So Toronto has definitely, I mean, obviously going from down 1-0 to up 2-1. Toronto's been the one to make the change. But what have they really changed? They haven't gotten more physical. They're not necessarily skating harder, except for a couple. Like Michelli skated his ass off to get to that puck. Everybody else was slacking. So shout out to Michelli for one of those goals. Utah's defense has actually been pretty good, but I think mainly I think what Toronto's doing is just spacing them out. It's just Utah has a tendency, if you've looked at the turnovers, there's 3 or 4 white jerseys around the Toronto player that turns it over. So I think what they're doing, big play for Utah all the way across, and he whiffs on the shot. So Stellaris is able to make the stop. The swing on Cooley just completely whiffed. But as we figure out, let's see what this penalty is. Great pass and a whiff. Oh, who tried to go under Stellaris? That was a bullshit play. That was a bullshit stick. I see why Toronto got mad. But yeah, so Utah's following the puck and grouping, and so Toronto's just backing away instead of going in to help. Just space it out. Because then Utah has nowhere to go. You're not getting all bunched up with them. But also, if the puck does come free, you've got 30 feet. Oh, yeah. Lawton just went head hunting. And I mean, hey, look, homeboy got what he deserved. I think that was Marino. Yeah, Marino just got blasted to the head. Don't go shoving your stick under my goalie when the play's clearly over. I don't really know what else to say. Sergachev from his own zone takes it back. Second power play for Utah. Nothing going in their first. That's back to the point. Taken down to the high baseline. Find the net. Back to the high dot. See what's he going to do. He's got to force something here. He's taking too much time. There you go. Sergachev at the point. Throwing it for the tip. Off a Schmaltz stick, goes wide of the net. Utah just cleared it on themselves. Threw it up and over. Sergachev at the point. 60 seconds gone on the Utah power play. 8:25 to go in the second. Keller slows up and draws the offsides. That was a dumbass move. That's offsides. Keller was offsides by a mile. What the fuck are you talking? I don't know what he's complaining about. What are we, dude, refs, what are we talking about here? You called it offsides before the puck went out of play. Why are the refs even getting together? As soon as Utah took it onside, he put his hand up to call it offside. And then the ref that called it offside blew the whistle, or the line judge that called it offsides went and talked to the ref. Like he didn't immediately. I hate the officials. I don't need to bitch any more than I already do. Let's just go back to it. They didn't call it, obviously they didn't call it delay a game. Nick Wall's going to backhand the puck all the way clear. Sergachev kind of loafing. Lawrence went hauling ass to the puck. So, see, that's the big thing where Toronto, not everybody, but a couple of their guys are skating a lot harder than they were in the first period. And Utah's kind of gotten into this zone of, don't worry about it. Like, no, they're not going to come and chart, they're not going to follow that up. Oh, what a fuck up that was. McMahon takes the loose puck. Again, Utah just being lazy. Toronto's back to full strength. Great play there by Schmaltz to take the puck the other way. That was a late check by Myers on Schmaltz there. Toronto up into neutral, dumped into the Utah zone. Nate Schmidt will take the pass from Vanacek. All the way up ahead, a great pass. Utah in for an opportunity, a blatant tripping. How was that not? Thank you. How does the ref that's right there not call the trip? Like, okay, well, you know, their job is to look for the dude. If you see a blatant and obvious penalty and you have an orange stripe on your shirt, I don't give a shit. What the tech that what's your job? No, call the fucking penalty. Good Lord. I'm surprised they don't give him a shot. I'm kind of surprised they didn't give him a penalty shot. 6:55 to go in the second. Shots are 11 apiece. Face off to the right of Stolars. It is Carcone. Fucking awesome. Toronto clears it. So we are on our third penalty of the game. All three going to you. Third, let's go third power play of the game. All going to Utah. Ooh, great defense. Nyes has it headed back the other way. He'll just dump, and Utah will reset. From behind their own net. Schmidt goes across the ice and fed back. Paterka enters the zone, leaves it. That was a dumbass pass by Paterka, but he gets the puck back, fed to the top. Low dot shot by Carcone, and you have Ekman Larson dropping the stick. Everybody's huddled, but man, Carcone gets a wide open shot from the low dot. Just no pressure. Nobody reacting. Stolars making a great save. Great pass. See, that is a great example of what I complain about when it comes to Vegas a lot, which they've definitely fixed. I'm very impressed with their penalty kill lately. But if you look at what happened, all four guys are not only on one side of the ice, they're on one side of the ice, all below the dot. So easy pass to get to the top of the high circle, easy pass to get to the low dot, and then Carcone just gets beat by Stolars. 60 seconds gone on the power play for Utah. Into the zone comes Utah, and another just weak pass by the Mammoth. Nick Wall picks it off. Lawton sets up Wall to come in and take it. Good play by Keller from behind to make sure he doesn't go anywhere with it. Sergachev into the Toronto zone and immediately turned over again. Mammoth do not look good on the man advantage. Keller's going to reset with Schmaltz behind him. And he leaves it off for Schmaltz as he makes the blue line. In the zone, trying to set back for Cooley on the point across the blue line. Schmidt tosses it down the high boards. Back up to the point, back down to the high baseline. Across to Schmidt, and he takes his eye off the puck, loses it to the low board. Utah maintains. 5 seconds on the power play. A shot. Free puck in the middle after Stolars makes the initial save, and he just got a major hand. I don't know if that was Mervis who swatted the loose puck away from the crease, but Stolars just got a major helping hand. 4:44 to go in the second. I mean, they just let him walk right in, and then sure enough, it was Mermis able to get his puck on or his stick on the loose puck in the crease before Schmaltz can bury it. Woo-hoo. All right. They always have those silent moments where you can hear the music in the arena. All right, we're going to commercial. Let's see what other games got going on. We are in first intermission. In Washington, Capitals in the Blues. Capitals leading 2-0. Oh, nope. They started back up, so we can go and catch that real quick. Other games haven't started yet. Take a quick peek in on this guy. Did they just score again? Or is that what? Okay, that is the 2-0 goal. Hey, we actually came in just in time. Alex Ovechkin got 900. Came over just in time to see Ovechkin get his 900th goal. I'm going to actually change the title. Oh, that's, whoops, wrong keyboard. Hang on. Perfect. Let's see it again. What a goal to get his 900th on. He has his back to the net. He's not even looking at the net. Fires a backhand from the bottom of the high circle. Can't even see it. Goes off a Blues player and buries it. What a goal. Good Lord. Like, hey, if anybody were to ask me, is Alex Ovechkin the best hockey player ever? No. Is he one of them? Yeah, he's definitely in like the top 20-ish. But is he the best goal scorer to ever live? There is obviously only one answer, and it is duh, no shit. Of course, he is the best goal scorer to ever live, and that is because he simply has the most goals. Now, he kind of did it the play for 50 years method, but you got to give it to him. All right, Tampa. Toronto. Tavares gets it down low. Robertson can't quite play it. He can now. He kind of freezes up as he tries to backhand it. Little bit of weak passing in the high corner of the Utah zone, but no harm, no foul. 4 minutes to go. In the second period, 2-1 Toronto. Shots are 15-13 Mammoth. Again, this really has been the opposite of a goalie battle. The three times the goalies have been challenged, there has been a goal. But in the way of block shots, good stick, breaking up passing lanes, breaking up shooting lanes, it has been a clinic from both sides. Now, both sides have more than 20 giveaways, so keep that in mind as well. Like I said, defensively, it's been a good game. Offensively, it's kind of been shit. McCabe tries to backhand it out. It ends up on a Utah stick, and Utah scores. Stolarz wishes he had that one back as he gets beat through the 5-hole from the point immediately with the head backing up in shame and frustration. 3:33 to go in the second. And Sergachev just throw pucks towards the net. Good things happen. Bad play there. Great play there. It wasn't tipped. It wasn't nothing, dude. He just beat Stolarz right through the thigh gap. Nate Schmidt into his own zone. Utah's going to work the puck up. Keller misses it, and we have an icing. So, shots are 16-12. Score Utah scored 2-2, 3:18 to go in the second. Meanwhile, the Capitals have managed to make it 3-0, so I'm glad we didn't watch that game. Not that I really... I want to watch everybody just because I want to keep an eye on different players, especially as we get closer to the end of the year, see who gets traded where for the playoff games. However, I have not recently, for any reason, had any interest in watching the St. Louis Blues play hockey. That may just be me, and if you're in St. Louis, hey, no hard feelings towards y'all, but your team is like woof. All right, Riley on the low boards. Pitches it down low into the corner. Back up to Riley, and he misses it at the point. Stolarz way out of the net to take the puck off of the wall. Could end up being a bad decision as Utah just really being disruptive right now. Good little hip check as he tries to exit the zone and into neutral. So good break for Toronto. That could have gone very poorly. Michelli makes a good move to take the puck into the zone. Toss down low. Robertson battling Sergachev. And Robertson's going to come away with it behind the net. Quick stop up. Tries to go back up to the blue line and cannot. Back into neutral. Utah just trying to buy some space. They worked themselves all the way back into their own zone, jumped all the way up ahead. And Ekman Larson with a light pass. He didn't even try to go up the boards. What a fucking waste of effort. Or waste of position on a lack of effort. Ekman Larson should have just got called for a hold. But will come out as Robertson gets it to McCabe. Redlining in. Sent back behind Vanacek. Krause couldn't quite get the pass back to his teammate, but eventually gets cleared. And you got an offsides on Toronto. Minute 17 to go in the period. That must have been a big goal for Sergachev because Tanev kept the puck. So I'm curious what the mark was. Maybe it was one of the assisting guys getting his first point or something. It is. That's what it was. Simashev got his first point. So shout out to him. That's a big step, believe it or not. Even if it's something goofy, like Pavel Dorofeyev getting his first goal off his nose, that is huge. Getting the first point in the NHL. Shout out to him. Fucking sweat. Need to open up the window. Oh, Nylander just took a puck off the dome. That one hurt. What up, D? You just waking up? Oh, Nylander's fine. He is strong, like bull. Just got back from short word. Word that we got a couple minutes here before we take intermission break. And then one period left after that. We ain't got shit to do tonight. I do have some beers, though. So we could always crack those open. Nice, trying to break the other way with Dome. Oh no, with Tavares. Ends up blasting Tavares, who got in his way. Jeez. Keller gets it up to Schmaltz, who gets it across, but it's just a bit offsides. Oop. Right. That's why we have the posture check. Get up. All right. Everything, relax, loosen up. Oh. Looting, just talking. Ooh, relax. Get the voice all relaxed. Like, I actually do have a deeper voice when I'm tired because there's not as much effort into talking. Sorry, random thought of the day. That's the end of the period. So, on this one, guys, we are going to take a full break. Capitals are up 3-0 against the Blues. Want to go see what's going on in the world while we've been sitting here. So, we're going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Grab a drink, grab a food, grab a piece of your wife's ass, whatever you got going for the next 10 minutes, and enjoy yourself. It's got 2 beers, got to cook, do anything though. Yeah. Not sure I'll be able to run it. Headset is too tight on my head. Damn. That ain't great. But yeah, no, that's perfect, dude, because I still got, like I said, still got a period to go on here. Probably be like 7-ish, 7:15 when I'm done here. And then I'll be down to crack some beers and see how Battlefield run. A lot of pressure. Dude, see, I have the problem with heat. But I'm getting headaches from it, yeah. Shit, man, I will say I like during when we're not in game, I always have it off. Like my headset's always weird on my head, that way because my problem is heat. I get my ears boil, and that's why I like when I was when before PVE came out on Tarkov running scavs, I would just leave my headset off because if I died, I fucking died. I don't care. But otherwise, I would just go in and I wouldn't even care, and just that was the one break. But hey, I'm gonna run and have a smoke real quick, so I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, we'll come back a couple minutes early to take a peek in on Washington and St. Louis. Oh man, Capitals are up 4-0 now. This is just a whooping, and they're on a power play. Take a look at the summary. You had Wilson scoring a power play. You had Ovi get his 900th. And it has just been, and other than hits and block shots, it has been all Washington. And this thing's behind by an hour. Holy shit. Oh, tell you what, I did forget to do something. Give me a second. Ooh. All right. Let's take a look at a couple things happening in the one we're watching. Still, no other games have started yet. So, Washington, St. Louis, 4-0, 6 1/4 to go in the second. Excuse me, getting ready to come back for the third period here. And then 6:30, you got the 7-5-0 Blue Jackets taking on the 3-9-2 Calgary Flames in Calgary. Said, shut up. Like, I'm happy we picked the game, or I picked the game, I picked over the Capitals Blues, because that's just a whooping, but we were there for 900, so it's all right. But the Blue Jackets and the Flames, ooh. And then the 5-5-3 Blackhawks against the 7-7-0 Canucks. Ooh. And then the 4-6-3 Sharks against the 6-2-4 Kraken. Yeah, I think we made a good decision picking the game we picked. So we are starting with a Toronto power play. I saw something happen at the end right there, but I missed what exactly it was. Jack McBain, 2-minute minor for cross-checking against Matthew Nyes. So it looks like right at the end there, McBain lost his temper and went after Nyes. Now, I wouldn't put it past Nyes to have caused his own attack, but I didn't see it, so I don't know. The Utah coach actually kind of reminds me of Gallant. Mostly the way he's not worried about shouting shit at the referees. All right, shots are 16-12. Utah, 2-2 scores. 28 shots, 4 goals. Face-off wins are in favor of Toronto, 22-15. And the first power play for Toronto coming right now as Utah's gone 0 for 3. All right, there we go. Apparently, my voice doesn't want to do that. Ekman Larson, out of his own zone, leaves it back for Matthews, who sets it up for Nylander. At the red line, goes high. Wall right at the blue line. Puck is lost by Tavares. Ekman Larson reset and leaves it back again for Matthews. Across the red line and in as Tavares chases it down. Right up front, goes all the way across the crease as he lost it at the corner of the goal. From Larson to Matthews, back to Larson at the point. Nylander sends it to the low dot. Tavares turns and shoots, but a great block. I want to say that was Sergachev, but I don't think it was. Great defensive play. Nylander on the high board, cycling to the blue line. Kicks it back to Ekman Larson. High baseline. Tavares gets his stick taken out of his hand. Not sure it was anything egregious, but he lost his stick trying to make a play. Good defense again by the Utah Mammoth. Domi makes a good pass up to Robertson. Leaves it for Michelli. Low point, Riley. Back to Michelli on the board. Low baseline out front. Big shot by Robertson. Misses the net. Domi in the high corner. Sends it to the point. Riley all the way across the blue line. Michelli skates in. Sends it to Domi, who can't handle the pass. Back to the point, and Riley lets it get past him. Power play over for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, but Toronto gets it right back in. Michelli across to Robertson, who can't get a full shot on. As he is stopped by Vanacek, and then the rebound again stopped by the Utah goaltender. Puck up the high boards, kept in, not by much, but Matthews in time. McCabe taking it down the low boards to the corner, behind the net, all the way up to the high point. Nylander across the blue line. Ekman Larson sends it down the boards, all the way around, back to the point again. Nylander taps it. It's taken, thrown towards McCabe, who's down in the slot. And Utah's able to send it out to neutral. Power play bringing a lot of momentum for the Maple Leafs. Vanacek from behind his own goal. Able to play it up, and Utah gets out, but not very far as Tanev fumbles with it. Matthews dumps it in. And Utah swinging and missing on the set, trying to get out. Backhand towards the net, hits the skates of Matthews. He goes to the high corner. Toronto dominating the start of this period following that power play. And Utah finally able to get a little bit of control. They're up and out. Tanev down low. Takes a bump. He sends it around the boards. Cole sends it from the low point all the way around. And Myers beats Schmitty. Ooh, good stick. Turnover to Utah in the Toronto zone. Nate Schmidt just couldn't quite get control. Pass to the middle and a big stop by Stolarz on a quick shot. And the puck sent all the way down. And we've got an icing Toronto. Very exciting first 4 minutes of the third period. All Toronto. They said that even the power play was all Toronto, but Utah doing good to limit opportunities. And then it ended, and immediately Toronto walked right back in and just started kicking ass. Toronto wins the faceoff in their own zone, gets it to neutral, but Utah sends it right back in. Still in the zone across the blue line. Keller shoots and fought off by the blocker of Stolarz. Lawton gets it up, and eventually Robertson's at the red line, sets up. Riley back to Robertson, and a good tip, misses the net. Utah getting clear, sends it right to Carlo in his own zone. Back up the boards, and Nylander's in. Leaves it for Riley. Shoots. hits a stick in front, but goes up over the net. Vanacek was taken outside the crease and lost his stick, but Utah's able to get it clear and give him time to reset. Utah now loses it to Carlo in the Toronto zone. Riley gets it to Lorenz, who tips it. It goes all the way down, and Tavares is not fast enough. Icing on Toronto. 5 minutes gone in the third period. Shots are 18-14. Utah. Face off to the right of Stellaris. Tavares in the circle. Cooley wins it. Shot by Utah. Hits a Cooley right out front. Just another shot, making it nowhere near the net. Toronto dumps it into the Utah zone. Everybody's getting a change. Marino sets from behind his own net. And Utah's in. And they're going to call it offsides. Yeah. He entered just a little bit before he had control. Half a step at most. Spill water all over myself every time I take a drink from that damn cup. There's a Mummy 5 coming. Or is it Mummy 4 coming? And as long as they do something to make the third one just be like some kind of weird fantasy that never actually happened, I'm cool with it. Mermis from the point goes off the backboards. Michelli making a good cut. Turns around. Puck comes out front. And Joshua goes right wide of the outstretched leg of Vanacek. Sutherland in. Stenlund in. I don't know where I came up with that. Utah battling some good Toronto sticks. Nick Wall comes away with it, gets it out. Trying to protect it, hits the red line, dumps it in, and gets the change. All right. Resetting. Utah out of their own zone. Cole makes the long pass. It gets all the way through. Utah deep in the Toronto zone, trying to work up the high boards, picks it back down low into the corner. Matthews picks it off, and yes, Nyes is able to get out, but not get past a great defensive stick of Cole. That was bad news if he did. Utah right back in. Stellaris will settle it, get it to Ekman Larson, and he'll clear the zone. Nice. All the way across the ice, tipped, and sent out a play off the stick of Nylander. 7 minutes gone in the third period as they go to clear the ice. See, are they still playing or are they at intermission? It is now 5-0 in the massacre that is Washington versus St. Louis. Let's take a peek. OVI did hit 900. Shout out to Ovechkin. Waiting for them to get back on the ice here. 62 seconds to go in the period. Oh, and it's another power play for the Capitals. Good Lord. This isn't going to go well, is it? Well, I mean, they've only scored on one power play. And it's looking like this is the third one. So maybe maybe this is better for St. Louis. Can't stop them scoring 5-on-5. Taylor is able to clear 45 seconds on that man advantage. Still waiting for Utah, Toronto to come back. Tom Wilson on the low board sends it to the point. Ooh, the shot was hesitated on, and Ovi whiffed on it. Cream, who's your team? Mountain Muted. Hey, right on. I am a Golden Knights fan. So I just realized I was bouncing my leg. I'm a VG. I'm in Vegas. Basically every Golden Knights game I'll be here for, and then I try to do one other game on pretty much every other night. So, how about you, buddy? What's who you shouting for? Face off won by Utah. Schmidt able to dump it to Carcone, and Carcone gets it in deep. Pause. Battle for it behind Stellars. Lawton trying to flip it up and out, and he does a great pass to the Rens, storming in, and a great defensive stick going the other way for Utah. I think that was Omi Mata just making a great play to stop that potential. Krause tries to get it across the ice, ends up in neutral. Domi storming into the Utah zone. Walks in for a shot, ends up hitting Lorentz right in the ass as Lorentz doubles over. Yeah, Mount Me, what's your team? Ekman Larson behind Stellars. Tavares. Oh, there you go. Shut up my feet because I'm a Leafs fan. Oh, okay. Rowan Bit always checking out different streams of the game. Right on, buddy. Well, hey, I appreciate you stopping by and at least giving me a chance and checking me out. Oh, big backhand. You're going to be happy there. Tavares just buried one right in front. Update that. But yeah, right on, brother. The Leafs always fun to watch. They've had their ups and downs, especially at the start of the season, but half the league has. But a lot of respect for a lot of the guys wearing that jersey. I gotta admit, I'm surprised by Utah. I'm learning everybody's name tonight, and I'm rather surprised by these guys. See, who was that? It was John Tavares with the goal, assisted by McMahon and Ekman Larson. But who have we watched mostly this season? We've watched Toronto a couple times. We've watched Utah a couple times. Obviously, all the Golden Knights games. Seen Florida and Boston play a few games, and I decided until they get their stuff together, I don't even want to watch the games. They're painful. But yeah, when like Florida or Tampa play Toronto, try to always watch those games because they're usually wars. They're boxing matches with the occasional bout of hockey, which is every now and then I like those games as long as the Golden Knights aren't the one playing. Saying the start of the season looks like they were throwing a blender. Yeah, everybody's been in a bit of a mess. I mean, San Jose looks better than I expected them to, but they still suck. Ducks look way better than I expected them to, but they're still rough. Boston and Florida look like trash. I haven't watched much of the Canadian teams other than Toronto, but I've seen Edmonton. Edmonton looks like Edmonton. They'll never go anywhere until they get a team that's more than two players. Yeah, I like to watch the boxing matches, the Golden Knights, and then whatever looks like it'll be a better game. I actually considered watching Washington to see Ovechkin's 900th, but thank goodness we didn't pick that one because it's 5-0 going into the third. Like, what a waste that would have been. All right, Krause getting into the Toronto zone, takes a shot. It's right up front, bouncing puck, ends up on the low boards. Hell of an effort to try and make the between the legs backhand by Carcone. Another shot goes off of Stellar straight to the sky. Mata looking for it. Oh, that should have been a trip. Missed call on Paterka as he hits the ice. Word, Jesus. How much time left? Just under, or we got about 9.5 to go. And Toronto just took the lead to go up 3-2. Shots are 19-17, Utah. Big hit down low. Mermis just took dude out. Now they're battling, and Mermis looks like he wants to beat the shit out of old boy. Oh, that's got to be a roughing on Toronto. Just getting in, been watching in. I'll be okay. Oh, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Now it's hockey time. Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. You surprised? I am a little bit too. I'm not going to lie. We should have some penalties here. I guess we'll see what they actually decide on. Oh, yeah. Dude, that should have been penalty on Mermis from the start because old boy put his ass into the boards and he got mad about it. Gunther just kicked Mermis ass on the boards. He got mad. And then all of Toronto decided they just want to start kicking his ass. Go figure. But yeah, I've struggled to watch baseball for a long time. I can't watch basketball. I just can't take it. Football has become unwatchable to me. I'll still watch my Hurricanes play, but I expect the same thing out of them every year. We're going to have 4 or 5 games where we look fantastic. Our quarterback is awesome. And then he's going to throw 9 interceptions in 3 games and we're going to look like trash. Oh my goodness. What happened this year? But it's like, I can't watch football anymore. Just nobody's allowed to hit anybody. If you touch the quarterback, it's a penalty. You can't make blocks. Like, my favorite part of football was jacked up. That doesn't happen anymore. So now it's just all hockey for me. Like, I'll still watch, I'll watch certain things, X Games stuff, like snowboarding stuff. But when it comes to the big 4 for sports, I struggle to stay awake for most games. I will say this season, it's been tough to stay awake for a couple of these games. They've just been so damn slow. Nobody's shooting, nobody's scoring, or it's like we're seeing in Washington where it's 5-0 at the end of 2 periods. Like Columbus should absolutely destroy Calgary tonight. Canucks should beat the Blackhawks. If the Canucks decide to play heavy and physical, they'll whoop up on Chicago. And then the Kraken should absolutely curb stomp San Jose. That might actually be one to have on the background. You got a second screen. Find the damn time for anything more than hot. Yeah, work just choose up the free time and otherwise kill me. Yeah, hey, dude, I feel you, man. I definitely get it. That's one of the best things about my schedule is like up all night and don't have to wake up till later in the morning. And that is about the best gift I've been able to ask for because I wake up immediately hockey, go to the gym, and then my day starts. It's not too bad. But dude, like I'm not an early riser at all, so I totally get it. Dude, a lot of chaos right in front of Stellaris. He didn't have his stick, but Utah just not able to get good wood on the puck. Ekman Larson in his own zone cycles it up the high boards, and Tavares jumps it into the high corner. Schmitty back to take it, kicked out front, misplayed. Toronto has an opportunity, but the good sticks of Utah keep the puck safe. Gunther coming back the other way. Riley there first. Riley from behind his own net under pressure gets it to Tavares on the low boards, and it's back into neutral. McMahon tipped it, beat Schmidt into the corner. Marino trying to do something with it, goes off of skates. we're starting to get into the good hockey I've been expecting this whole game, because both sides are starting to get pissed with each other and it's getting physical. It's getting a little chippy. It's getting a little bullshitty, which we can knock that off. But both sides just want to hit each other right now, and I'm loving it because the Golden Knights aren't involved, so I don't care as much about the injuries. Utah working back the other way, and he just left the puck behind. Stenlund just couldn't quite maintain. Dude, both sides are looking incredible on defense. Shaky on offense, but sticks are in the right place. Position is right. So, hey, oh yeah, man. Should drop any streams. I appreciate Ballerman. Welcome, buddy. Like, that's awesome, man. Thank you. Like I said, we try to be here every night, at the very least during VGK games. I kind of got tired of watching hockey alone, so whenever you can stop by and join us, I greatly appreciate you, brother. Fucking the high corner of the Utah zone comes out to Sergachev, trying to go right up the gut, but Carcone's going to get beat there by Carlos. Kicks it around to Riley on the low boards. Toronto clears their zone. And yeah, you'll definitely see Maple Leafs on here from time to time. I try to put the thumbnail up and get everything ready a couple hours beforehand so you know what game we're watching. But you'll see Toronto on here quite a bit because I do really enjoy watching Nylander and Matthews and Nyes, and Tavares just got his 500th, and there's a lot of talent on the Maple Leafs team. That's a lot of fun to watch. Like I said, when you guys play Tampa and Florida, those are just brutal games. I can't wait for. You guys, few VGK, big Marner fan, dude. Yeah, sad to see him move. I bet, man. We are ecstatic to get him. I knew him somewhat from Toronto, but I wasn't sure how he would fit in with the Vegas system. And that dude's a chameleon. He dropped right in. Like, he immediately was on our first team power play. And that was the line in the power play that got Dorofeyev his hat trick on our first game. Like, the dude's incredible. I can absolutely imagine how sad Toronto is to lose him. But we are extremely thankful. Because, yeah, man, he's great. All right, Toronto trying to kill some time. 4.5 to go in this one. Shots are 2017, Utah. What comes up the low boards? Joshua trying to feed it across. Michelli not quite fast enough to get there. From the high corner behind the net. Fed out front. Shot and score. Michelli from the middle of the slot beats Vanacek. And we've got a huddle as Utah and Toronto are letting each other have it, but it doesn't matter when you look at the scoreboard. I'm like, oh yeah, that's one thing. With the VGK games, we got a couple more bells and whistles than when we watch the normal games, but I get to have a little more fun on the VGK games. Yeah, let's see. I want to see what started that fight. I mean, dude just straight ripped out the whole boy's legs. Who was that in front of the net? Stenlund just ripped his skates out. Yeah, I always forget, Jesus. I always forget you're Canadian, bro. Like, I know that, but it's always like you don't. When I read your messages, I don't hear the Canadian accent. The gamer, man, yeah, I got a lot of understood hate up north, yeah, or undeserved. Boy, that have his sweat right, Junior boy got his mount on the wall in his room now that he's gone. Yeah, I feel that, man. Like, the red jersey is Will Carrier, and I'll have that on my wall forever because Will Carrier is one of my favorite hockey players. I love his style of hockey. And so like Will Carrier will be on my wall forever. Like the only time I swap that out is for like I got a Veterans Day jersey I'll rock on the wall. I've got a Flurry. Ooh, Utah coming in hot. We got another huddle happening in front of the Toronto net. Just under 4 minutes to go in this one. But like I'll put up the Flurry Hockey Fights Cancer jersey from time to time. But like Schmidt's playing in this one. We got his jersey I'll rock. Like, dude, that's one thing about the Golden Knights is I there's nobody I hate. Like Marchie ran his mouth a little bit. I didn't like Eakin. I didn't like Chandler, or not Chandler Stevenson. I didn't like I can't think of his name now. Maybe Chandler's his last name. Other than them, dude, I love my former Golden Knights. Let's get the Vacers. All right. Word. Prince George and where was that? Newfoundland, that's right. It's still the same continent. Nice. Nice. That's everybody I know, man. I got some of y'all up in Canada. Know a couple people in Seattle, but my boys like D's out in Wolf's out in Georgia. Got friends down in Florida, like New York and Boston and stuff. I will say that is one thing that gaming brought that is dope, and now streaming has brought. That's hella cool. Is not even being in the same country and chilling out. This Slim's gonna hop in here, dude. Slim will reappear one of these days. It's on like I haven't talked to him in a while, and that's 100% on me. And it's as easy as me just hitting him up, but me no need to go into it. But I need to hit up Slim. I need to game with them. I miss hanging out with him and Ray. I know they've got their wedding coming up in a couple of months, so I gotta try and figure all that out. For bro. Oh yeah, always, dude. But yeah, I gotta work on getting a passport because he's got him and Ray are getting married. Ray, like I think I met Ray before I met Slim. I'm almost positive. So I love those two, man. The fact that they're getting married is amazing. I love it. And so now, only wedding I've made it to is my sister's. So I would be very happy for theirs to be number 2. All right, Toronto just missed the empty net. Vanacek's already on the bench. Utah heading out of their zone. Pass all the way up and in. Stellars waits for it. Sends it up the low boards. Keller loses it to Nyes. Nyes tries to turn up and get up the wall. Stopped right in his tracks by Cooley. And Schmaltz gets it across the blue line. Puck behind the net. That looked like a trip to me. No call. Cooley gets it to Schmaltz on the point. High point. Back across the blue line to Schmaltz. Low boards. Keller feeds it to the low baseline. Toronto comes away with it. They get it to Nyes. He's skating for his life. Big back check by Keller, but it's too late. Empty net goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, we wrong. You were wrong. No, Toronto played extremely well. Like, shout out to this performance at home because I was not sure what to expect. One of the big things from Utah, again, the 2 goals they got were the 2 best chances they got. Everything was coming from too far out. Everything was staying on the ice. Like even whose goal was it? The second goal that beat Stellars through the 5-hole. Stellars knew that was a dumbass goal to let through. That was soft. It was late dropping and all, like, well, all that. So everything was just below the waist while he's splayed out. Like, I don't know. You just can't expect much when you don't elevate the puck. You don't get, you probably had about 4 shots from inside home plate. Battle for it in the Utah zone. Toronto sending it off a weird bounce off of boards on target to Vanacek back into the Toronto zone. 2.5 to go in this iced game. Unless Utah finds a way to get lucky quick before starting this typical loss by Toronto. Yeah, heating up and it's needed. The Atlantic is never sure bet on playoffs. Man, yeah, this year some other teams are up. Yeah, it's great 100%. Got like teams have been surprising me. Detroit has been playing incredible. The Hurricanes were playing really good for a while there. The Islanders have been surprising me in a lot of games. Just up and down Florida and Tampa have been Florida and Tampa. I don't expect much from them, but Washington playing the way they've been, again, whooping ass against St. Louis right now. St. Louis finally got a goal. They finally beat Logan Thompson. But yeah, it's especially as the year progresses, we're going to see a couple of the newer names move around. I can almost guarantee it because we're seeing a bunch of guys in systems that they're not typically used to playing in. Florida surprised me how bad they look right now. Boston surprises me, but Boston got rid of a lot of people, so not really. A lot of rebuilding going on throughout the league. A lot of moves going to happen in the next year, maybe, in about 6 months, like when the trades start happening before playoffs. I think you're going to see some like, wait, why would you do that moments? And I think playoffs this year are going to get a little interesting. Utah trying to go all the way up. They sprung them, shot in the score. Utah a little too late to get aggressive. But Gunther beats the Lars with 1:07 to go on the clock. Yeah, so quick reminder. Tomorrow is a late game. Ooh, the Panthers and the Kings. I might have to double up. Man, not sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, you see the guys, but they've been good. I've no reason to be, dude. Pittsburgh's always deadly early. Unfortunately for them, they're just too old. So as the year goes on, they just get tired. But they're on fire, and Crosby has a wild hair up his ass. He's been playing his ass off. But yeah, the Pens look really good. Ooh, Utah suddenly deciding they want to try and score with no time left on the clock. You'd have thought they had wanted to do this a little earlier in the day. Well, they pulled him again, 45 seconds left. All right, so again, tomorrow, 7 p.m. It's going to be late for you, Malamute. A lot of the Golden Knights games are going to be late just because we're West Coast. But like the day after Thanksgiving, like the last Friday in November, we have a 1:00 game. So that's we usually don't have the 1:00, 3:00, 4:00 games. They're always late. But we're gonna be here for Vegas and Tampa. And I'll be keeping an eye on the Panthers and the Kings. I gotta watch the Kings from time to time just because they're in our division. And then Friday, Wolf, Rangers, Red Wings, Wild Islanders, Blackhawks, Flames, and Jets, Sharks. Wolf. We'll see what happens on Friday. That might be a good time to take a day off. You know what I mean? Those are some rough games. But we'll be back on Saturday for the late night. Damn, dude, Saturday's going to be stacked. All right, 6.9 seconds on this one. Smitty shot, stop by Stellars, and that'll do it. I refuse to enjoy the take. So, hey, man, I appreciate it. Like, yeah, you know, I think last year I ended up watching. We ended up watching like 400 games or something like that. I think I only had 100 and something on stream, but like I love hockey. I'm obsessed with the game. I appreciate the acknowledgement, man. Definitely hope to see you around. I love talking about the game. And agree or disagree, try to just make it interesting, you know, like basically the whole point of this is, again, rather than sit here and watch games by myself, I might as well hang out at the bar with friends without going to the bar. So this is exactly what I would do, but instead of spending, you know, $100 going and gambling and drinking, just sit around and hang out with the boys. So no, I appreciate you coming in, man, giving me a chance. So gives a little makes me feel good. It's the easiest thing in the world for me to feel good is just saying that you'll stop by, buddy. But, that's one thing, too. We do some video game stuff every now and then. We do Tarkov or, like I'm going to play Battlefield Res Deck after this with the buddy. Don't know if I'll stream it or not. Depends if I decide to have a couple beers or not. But we're around, man. Definitely enjoy having you in. Enjoy the conversation. So look forward to seeing you. If we do go live, it will be very shortly. At least playing nights. Oh, dude. You'll see the difference. If you stop by for a Golden Knights game, you'll see the difference in when my team is playing versus I don't care who's playing. It's going to be a chat. I guarantee it, man. As long as we all agree at the end of the day, it's all in good fun. Come talk some shit. Let's go. But all right, man, I'm out of here, buddy. Man, I do appreciate the sub. Appreciate you hanging out. Look forward to you stopping by again. Likewise, look forward to VGK in Toronto because I will definitely be talking some shit. Anybody who's come and hung out knows I got no problem running my mouth a little bit. Hey, for sure. So maybe live in a little bit. Again, depends if I decide to crack a beer or go to the gym. Marty and Jamie, hi. How you doing? Always, buddy, always. I'll say you did pop in just a hair late as we're getting ready to bail out. I appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, though. But we are heading out right now. So 7 o'clock tomorrow. Again, likewise, Malamute, take care. I may be live in 30 minutes to an hour if y'all want to come and hang out while we run some Battlefield. Other than that, we will be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the Golden Knights and Tampa here in Vegas. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do Friday. The games don't look too good, but I don't like skipping days as much as I took 3 days off last week. So we'll see what's looking good for Friday, see if we want to pick one. And then Saturday, back again at 7 p.m. So keep an eye out for the thumbnails popping up. And I look forward to hanging out with y'all again. Good night, everybody. Take care.